Okay, so let's just jump right in. For the longest time, being a leader meant being at the very top of the information pyramid, right? You knew things others didn't. But what happens when that whole pyramid just crumbles? Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're exploring what leadership looks like now, where it's not about knowing the most, but about being the most human. This is it. This is the big question every single leader is wrestling with, whether they say it out loud or not. I mean, think about it. When an algorithm can sift through more data in a single second than you could in your entire lifetime, where does your value actually come from? It's a real fundamental challenge to how we've always defined ourselves as leaders. So, here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to tackle that question head on. First up, we'll dig into this massive shift from knowing to judging. Then we'll talk about a really critical risk, what I call the AI dependency trap. After that, we'll unpack the 5 capitals you absolutely need to cultivate. And we'll tie it all together with a brilliant idea of reverse mentoring. And wrap up by helping you zero in on your unique human advantage in this brand new world. All right, let's get into our first section. And look, this isn't just some small update to the leadership playbook. This is a complete and total rewrite of the entire operating system. It's a new paradigm where the old sources of power, they're becoming obsolete fast. This slide just captures the whole transition perfectly. You know, your edge used to be having access to info that other people didn't. Well, that's gone. AI has leveled the playing field. It's democratized information. So your new advantage, your real power, is judgment. It's that ability to look at what the machine spits out and ask, okay, but is this right? Is this wise? And what's missing here? And that brings us to the new formula for success. It's not about humans versus machines. It's a partnership. Machine intelligence, yeah, it gives you the speed and the scale. But your judgment, that provides the direction, the ethics, the accountability. This right here, this is the very heart of what it means to be a human in the loop. But, and this is a big but, this new partnership comes with a really serious risk. As we lean more and more on AI, there's this subtle, kind of dangerous trap that we can all fall into if we're not paying super close attention. This quote, it just gets right to the core of the problem, doesn't it? When we let AI summarize our reports or draft our emails or even spit out strategic options, are we just being more efficient? Or are we actually outsourcing the hard work of thinking? It's a really fine line, and believe me, it's way easier to cross than you might think. And this is what we're calling the cognitive dependency gap. It's like a muscle you stop using. It's the slow, quiet erosion of the very thing that makes a leader valuable. Your ability to think critically when the stakes are high and the answer isn't obvious. It's a skill we have to actively, intentionally protect. So how do we do that? How do we protect that skill and stay firmly, meaningfully in the loop? Well, the answer is to double down on the internal resources that no algorithm, no matter how smart, can ever replicate. So let's open up the leader's toolkit for the age of AI. These right here are the 5 capitals of human-centric leadership. I want you to think of them as the pillars that hold up your unique value. They're your best defense against becoming obsolete, and they're the foundation for leading effectively with AI. So let's break each one down. Okay, let's start with spiritual capital. An AI will always optimize for the most efficient path. But is it the right path? So picture this, your AI suggests a marketing plan that is brutally effective, but it's ethically questionable. The data says go, your spiritual capital, that's your inner compass, your ethical North Star, that lets you be the one to say, no, we're not doing that, and to choose integrity over pure efficiency. Now, right after you make that kind of tough call, you're going to need your physical and emotional capital. See, an AI doesn't feel the anxiety of disruption, but your team sure does. Your ability to create what we're calling a safe harbor, to show real empathy, to manage the very human emotions of fear and hope. A machine can't do that. This is what stops burnout in its tracks and builds a truly resilient team. Then we have relational capital. You know, AI can build a network, sure, but it can't build trust. Trust is the currency of human connection. It's built in those moments of shared experience, of vulnerability, of showing consistent character, like when a leader makes a difficult but principled decision. That kind of trust is fundamentally non-hackable. Fourth on our list is your intellectual capital. This is all about wisdom over data. It's your analog influence, your unique ability to look at a perfectly logical, data-backed recommendation from an AI and ask the hard questions. It's about applying the context, the life experience, and the intuition that an algorithm just doesn't have. And finally, all of this comes together in your financial capital. This is about strategic stewardship. It's the big question. Do you use your budget to simply automate tasks and replace people? Or do you invest that money in empowering your people to work with these new systems, to amplify their skills and their creativity? That's a judgment call only a human leader can truly make. Now, building up these 5 capitals, it's not a solo journey. To really bring them to life, you need a powerful partnership. And one of the most important ones bridges the generational gap when it comes to technology. And this is where reverse mentoring becomes an absolute game changer. Just imagine a strategy meeting, okay? An AI native team member, they might see an immediate opportunity. Hey, we can use this new generative model to automate all our customer feedback analysis. They've got the prompt logic down, but then the senior executive provides that crucial context. That's an excellent idea. Now, how do we make sure that automation doesn't strip out the human nuance that actually helps us build long-term trust? See? That's ethical weight-bearing. So when you combine the digital fluency of younger generations with the seasoned judgment of experienced leaders, you get this powerful formula for future-ready leadership. It's an integrated model where wisdom flows both ways, creating a team that is both incredibly agile and deeply, deeply wise. And all of this, it brings us right back to you, the leader. As AI starts to handle more and more of the what and the how, your job increasingly becomes about defining the why. It's about focusing on your irreducible core, the part of you that can't be coded. And so, this is the question we want to leave you with. AI is going to accelerate your execution, no doubt. But only you can define the meaning behind it all. So as you start to use these amazing tools, just take a moment and reflect on this. What is the one part of my leadership that I will never, ever delegate? What must remain deeply and irreducibly human? Because that, right there, is where your future value lies.